call me an uppity Negro? During Black Women's, we about to have the first Indian Jamaican Black Women's President Black Women's Month. Hey, no doubt.
I'll touch that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times again. I testify for you. By my T2 boost and you. I do all of them around. Just get to do. I'm not. Long as you out here looking for me, I got it. Yeah, bete, j'étais koyo. Mais pas vin jouer nan figure. Got do you do. C'est où seul moi gagne sou kem kunya. Tell the truth, I look better under you.
Before I continue with this video, I want to go ahead and thank Temu for sponsoring it. Just got a package from Temu. Let's try on some things.
Now in this mini try on haul, I think you guys are gonna realize that I am in my cardigan era. You know, summertime is coming to an end. Fall is right around the corner, and for me, fall is all about a cute little cardigan, okay? This cardigan right here just give me Chanel tees. Like, I just recently got some Chanel shades, and I think they're gonna go perfect with this particular cardigan right now, or some YSL ones. But this one is my favorite cardigan. Like, come on. So classy, so chic. And then of course this black cardigan, the sleeves are shorter, and I just think it just gives, I don't know, it gives I got money. I got this collar necklace, is probably my favorite buy, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that it's linked in my description box along with everything else.
Now you can go ahead and shop all of these items on the Temu app by scanning the QR code on the screen and search my code DPN5362 to get your $100 coupon.
Here's a quick simulation on how easy it is to download the Temu app by using the QR code on the screen right now. I just want to provide you guys with that just in case you don't have it. So if you take your phone right now and you look up this QR code, you take your camera, if you point your camera at it, you'll be able to see the link right there populate at the bottom of your screen, and boom, you're in the app. Once you press download, of course, obviously I already have it downloaded, but it's pretty easy. And once you're in there, it's so easy to shop. There's so many things to buy off of Temu, child, from slippers to, you know, cooking wear to headphones like what I'm purchasing right now. I'm always losing a pair of headphones. I always need a pair, so Temu is a great place for me to always shop for my headphones.
Again, my code is right here, DPN5362. Thanks so much for sponsoring this video, Temu. Ta-ta! What's up, y'all? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Thank you so much for coming back to my Chanel. If you are new here, make sure that you like, share, subscribe so you can join the Black Women's tribe. During the Black Women's, we're about to have the first Black Women's Indian Jamaican Black Women's President Black Women's Month, okay? All right, before we get into everything, y'all, make sure that if you want to join me in Tulum, okay, my second Wookation trip will be happening in Tulum in October. Go to www.wookation.net, sign up so I can see y'all in Tulum. I still owe y'all the Colombian Wookation. My summer's just been summery, y'all. I've been everywhere. I literally just got back from St. Lucia a couple days ago. I still haven't given y'all my part 2 of my birthday trip. It's a lot going on, and I'm gonna try to just buckle down and edit everything within the next couple days and start off August right. August, I'm definitely gonna start calming down my travels and just settling in, and so yeah, I'll be more consistent. But my summer was summering. I hope your summer's been summering. So if you join Wookation, we're gonna be summering in October, okay? It's gonna be a time. So make sure that you go to wookation.net, sign up, and I will see you in Tulum. Also, so many of you guys like my snooze cover, so make sure that you go ahead and click the link in my description box so you can watch the full video of my snooze cover. That is the song that you're hearing during my intro. It is I. Go ahead and check out my snooze cover. It's in the link in the description box, and I'm thinking about even putting the song like on streaming and just, you know, if it gets deleted, it gets deleted, period. All right, y'all, let's get into Tyler Perry. You know, I really debated talking about some of the things I'm going to talk about in this video because I love Tyler Perry. Like, I feel like I kind of just grew up on Tyler Perry because I discovered Tyler Perry when I was a teenager. You know, so many of our parents either went to a Tyler Perry play or was buying the DVDs or having the bootlegs. And, you know, for me, my mom had so many of the DVDs, so we watched that as a family. Like, we thought it was entertaining, you know. And so I will always appreciate Tyler Perry for just his work, the work that he's done, going from, you know, the play circuit to being a billionaire heavyweight in Hollywood, especially right now at a time where we all know, if you have been paying attention, that Hollywood financially is not in the best place. Actors are not being paid well. Writers are not being paid well. Directors, like, we saw numerous strikes happen last year, which is why it took so long for us to get a lot of content this year. And if you've noticed, Black content has suffered the most. You know, I did the podcast for the show Ruched, created by Issa Rae on HBO. I did 2 seasons of that podcast, and the show was canceled. Great show. And in a world where we have Issa Rae, why is Issa Rae's shows being canceled? Especially when she goes out of her way to give us such good content. We're seeing how the strikes and, you know, the financial setbacks that Hollywood suffered, the people at the front lines of the suffering is and will always be Black people, and then people of color. So seeing someone like Tyler Perry thrive in this sort of climate in Hollywood, it is amazing to see. It is amazing to see. However, there are a lot of valid critiques. And I think that Tyler Perry is one of those people who just doesn't care. And I would appreciate if he would just say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't get, you know, there is a very famous Haitian prophet. His name is Michel Martelly. He released a song back in the 90s. It's called I Don't Care. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Qui me le da dam. I don't give a shit. Very prophetic words. Very prophetic words. And I would appreciate if Tyler Perry just adopted that. But there is this clip circulating of this talk that he recently had with Keke Palmer, where, you know, she brought up, you know, how does he feel about the critiques that he's received? And he had a couple of words to say. He called his critics uppity Negroes.
Just want to step in and correct myself really quickly. He actually called us highbrow Negroes, which is basically the same thing, but I know that I get agitated when people are not completely accurate about what I say, so I just want to make sure I say. He said highbrow Negroes. So highbrow Negroes, uppity Negroes, it's the same thing, but specifically he said highbrow Negroes.
And I have a lot of thoughts because I am one of his critics. I'm one of the critics. And I don't consider myself an uppity Negro. A lot of y'all have had critiques for his work. Are y'all uppity Negroes? And, you know, this comes on the heels of Divorce in the Black, which was a horrible movie. Was it entertaining? Yes. But it was a horrible script. It had no storyline. It just was, you know, entertaining moments, questionable moments, and, you know, very good actors coming across as very horrible actors. I mean, I did a review on it, and I told y'all that if this is the acting that Corey Hardrick does, this man has no future in Hollywood. And I was saying this as somebody who hasn't really seen much of his work. And I made sure to say that. I'm not familiar with much of his work, but you gonna lose your job, bitch.
You wanna lose your job, bitch?
Nigga, I don't give a fuck about this job.
You wanna lose your job, bitch, 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 bitch. I mean, the Ike Turner cosplay, it just was like insufferable. And it wasn't even his fault because the script really had no depth. He just was an abuser, and we did not know why he was abusing. We didn't get no backstory. We learned that he pew-pew-pewed his daddy, but we don't know why he pew-pew-pewed his daddy. You know, the opening scene in the fume where you got Miss Mamas who looked like Monique saying, you know, take the body out. Take the body out the casket. Then you got the, which by the way, I said this in my review, the man who played the dead body, he deserves a BT award. Like, he played that dead body. He played that dead body. Like, even when they was carrying him out, the way he just, the balance, the composure. Because I know that motherfucker wanted to laugh while filming that scene. Like, it was hilarious. It didn't make no sense. It was just funny for no damn reason. It just, you know, and anyway, so many people have had critiques about Divorce in the Black, to the point where you have Divorce in the Black making history by getting a 0 score on Rotten Tomatoes. A 0 score. And y'all, I'm Black. Okay? I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm a Black women's. During Black Women's Award, I am a Black woman. During Black Women's, we about to have the first Indian, Jamaican Black Women's President Black Women's Month. I'm a Black Women's. And listen, I don't know a lot of Black people who go to Rotten Tomatoes. Like, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Drop down in the comments and let me know, am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know a lot of Black people who go down to Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes seems to be a white people thing. I'm not saying there's no Black people who go there, but what I'm saying is, them people who gave you a 0 Rotten Tomatoes score, Tyler Perry, them people who gave you a 0 score on Rotten Tomatoes, Tyler Perry, they was white. Most of them was white, okay? Like, going back to even A Fall from Grace on Netflix, though it was such a horrible movie, right? But the outrage came mostly from other groups of people who hadn't really been exposed to Tyler Perry's work, and finally it's down to Netflix, and they're like, is this what the colored are watching? Side note, did y'all see how, what's the name called? The AKA's a colored sorority.
The problem with Kamala Harris, number one, she has not had her record exploited heavily because people thought and marginalized her. She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority.
In 2024, like, what is going on? But anyway, you got the white people. Is this what the Blacks are watching? Is this what this is what they've been watching for the last 10 years? Yes, that's what we've been watching. That's what we've been supporting. They the ones who gave the 0 score, okay? But anyway, there's this clip of Tyler Perry speaking to Keke Palmer, and they're talking about, you know, the critiques that he's received.
Yeah, but what? No. You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because for everyone who is a critic, I have thousands of used to be emails from people saying, this changed my life. Oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, you saw me. How did you know this about my life, my family? So that is what is important. We're talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and who were caregivers for white kids and were maids and housekeepers and all of these beauticians. That don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which Black story is important or should be told? Get out here with that boy.
Yes. How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about watching what he just said? There's so much to dissect here, but I want to go back to the beginning, right?
You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact. And I love Keke Palmer. But the way a lot of us, especially Black women, he did not say nothing. Like, he did not say a damn thing for you to be, please. He did not say anything, okay? I really hate prosperity preaching. I really do. I really hate
the prosperity preaching. If you let people move you out of the place that God put you in, you're going to find yourself in hell. Whenever I see Christians using that to answer questions, I see someone who is escaping actually answering the question. Okay, I see someone who's also escaping accountability for what the critiques are bringing up. All right, like, just answer the question. It's not always a prosperity gospel moment. All right, like, and it just doesn't apply here. Tyler Perry is never going to be in hell. Okay. Tyler Perry, the last time Tyler Perry was close to even, having a life that mirrored hell was when he was homeless in his car. And that was 30 years ago. Okay. All right. Let's just stay focused on what is being asked. Every time I see someone do this, it just reeks of, I don't want to take accountability for what people are bringing up. And they're bringing up valid critiques. Okay. Also, when he goes on and he talks about, the fans and the people who are disenfranchised, who are you to say that their story shouldn't be told? Again, you use prosperity preaching to go on to not answer the actual concerns. The concerns are, people are telling you, and they've been telling you for the past decade, that you need writers. And you need writers because the storyline is not a good storyline. You don't have much storyline to your storyline. You don't have depth. You don't have character development. You just have bad wigs and vibes. What does that have to do with, if you let God, if you let people push you out of the place that God put you, you're going to be, what does that have to do with the lace fronts not sitting correctly and the script not having any depth? That has absolutely nothing to do with anything. And nobody is telling you that you shouldn't tell the stories of the disenfranchised. But why is it that when it comes to telling stories of the disenfranchised, why is your disenfranchised story always focused on a battered Black woman? Why do you keep making the same movie over and over and over again for the last 15 years? Why do you keep making the Diary of a Mad Black Woman over and over and over again with a little sriracha sauce, a little hot sauce over here, a little pima, a little pickles over here, a little jollof, just mixing it up with just a little bit. Like, you're still giving us the same story over and over again. Black women are not a monolith. Black people are not a monolith. Black men are not always abusers. Black women are not always battered. Black women are not always miserable in their marriages. It's as if you don't know how to tell a story of a healthy marriage between a woman and a man. Why is that? Why don't you have, do you not have any examples in your life of healthy marriages between a man and a woman? Do you not have that? You know who would have that? Writers. You know who would have those stories? Tyler Perry? Writers. A writer's room. They would be able to help you tell your story and just give it more depth so that you're not stuck saying the same thing over and over and over again for 15 years. Nous fatigués. Are you not tired? Are you not tired? There was this tweet from Loni Love that, went viral a couple weeks back where she said, "I love that Tyler Perry is paying Black actors. Now I wish he would hire Black writers and directors that have experience to help him with his movies. He could improve the movies and make them award worthy if he would stop trying to save money by doing the writing and directing himself." What do you guys feel about Loni Love's tweet? Do you feel that she has a point here? I do. I think she has several points, and we're going to dissect the whole writing, the writer's room and everything. But again, I just would appreciate, and Tyler Perry doesn't owe this to me. He doesn't owe this to anyone. But I always appreciate when folks answer questions very honestly and say, listen, like if he were to say, listen, I don't care about awards. I don't care about awards. I don't care about having my content be, you know, up to par or up to everybody else's standards. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to continue to do, period. Like, I would appreciate that instead of the gospel, the prosperity gospel, because guess what? That prosperity gospel is not going to work for anyone else. We're not going to have another Tyler Perry ever again. I can assure you of that. It'll probably be another 100 years before we get another Tyler Perry. We're not going to have that again. If you have any time, go to Amazon Prime and watch Tyler Perry's Maxine's Son documentary and see how he strategically became Tyler Perry and was able to do things like get syndicated. Like, he had a whole strategy behind it, like that I can assure you Hollywood will never allow again. Ever allow again. And it's partially due to, I mean, we all know Hollywood's a racist place, but also it's partially due to the fact that when you allow someone to be able to have so much control, this is what you get. A lack of depth in their content. I want to go back to the part of Lonnie Love's tweet where she said that I wish Tyler Perry would, like, I'm happy that he's paying actors very well, which is great, but I also wish that he would pay writers, pay directors, so that he could have award-worthy, you know, movies and television shows, right? And so many of you are like, well, he's paying actors, he's paying actors. You know, we've seen all these actors that work with Tyler Perry say this is the best they've ever been paid. Corey Hardrick said it. Corey Hardrick said it in an interview where he said, listen, in 3 weeks, I got paid more than what I would get paid on another series or another movie that I'm shooting for 6 months, right? And a lot of you will hear that and like, oh, see, and that's why they all working for Tyler Perry, because Tyler Perry's paying them the most. But think about it. Think about it. Usually when people are shooting movies, they're shooting a movie for at least 4 months, at the very least 4 to 6 months to shoot a movie, okay? Tyler Perry is shooting a movie within 3 weeks, okay? Every big budget movie, or even low budget movie, every movie that you all love, just drop a movie in the comment section that you really, really love. Those movies, they're at least taking 6 months to be shot. And the reason for that is there's so many moving parts. Background actors, footage, background noise, costuming, you know? Like, there's so much that comes into play before you even get into the actual script. It's taking you 3 weeks to shoot a movie. When did you do the actual table readings? When did these actors rehearse? When did these actors rehearse? How often did they rehearse? Right? You don't have other directors. Everything is directed by you, which is why a lot of times too, you'll see, you know, lace front showing, or you'll hear someone messing up their line, or you'll hear background noise that you shouldn't hear. And that is because Tyler Perry is doing everything on his own. So of course he's able to pay actors more than they get paid in other projects, because he is not paying for everything else that these other studios or these other directors or these other people who are making movies and television shows are paying for. Tyler Perry doesn't have to pay for a studio. We know that he has his own. We know he has his own, right? And he's been able to do that over the years and hoard all that money because he's cut so many corners. Why don't you want to pay? You are a Black billionaire. One thing I've learned about Black billionaires, having Black billionaires is not what you all think it is. It's actually not a great thing. Black billionaires, just like white billionaires, cut corners, don't want to pay people. And it's just so funny watching the disenfranchised that he's talking about fight in the comment section. Well, he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. Yeah, and you'll never be that. You'll never be that. Because you know what billionaires do? They make sure that there's not other billionaires. They make sure that there are not many others. Yeah, they make sure of it. All right? Let's talk about the real reason why Tyler Perry doesn't have a writer's room. So y'all remember A Fall from Grace, right? The Fall from Grace, it was the movie that was on Netflix back in 2020. That was the first time white people who saw a Tyler Perry movie on Netflix and they went crazy. Okay, do y'all remember the panoramic when we all sat down and we watched A Fall from Grace and how horrible that movie was, right? So at the time, he had this tweet that went viral. In January 2020, he had a tweet that went viral. People really went ham on him because he showed this tweet. And it was work ethic, come on, let's go 2020. The haves and have-nots.
So I don't know if you know this, but all shows on television have a writer's room. And most of the time there are 10 people, 12, whatever, that write on these television shows, right? Well, I have no writer's room. Nobody writes any of my work. I write it all. Why am I telling you this? I wrote all of these scripts by myself in 2019. What's my point? Work ethic.
Let's talk about Tyler Perry's work ethic, right? If you look at that tweet, just look at the stacks of scripts. This man showed you at least 10 scripts, 10 different scripts that he wrote in a year by himself. By himself. Mind you, he's also in the midst of filming those shows, directing those shows as well. Because these shows were already on television, I believe. Have y'all ever watched one episode of Bruh? I dare you. Go and watch the first episode of Bruh. I dare you to make it through the first episode. I dare you to make it through the first episode. Okay? Horrible. Horrible. I could not make it through. Horrible. And I tell you this as somebody who actually auditioned for Bruh before I ever watched it. I auditioned for it. And I'm going to say this too while we're here. I've said this before. I'll say it again. If Tyler Perry was to ever hire me for a job, bitch, I'm taking the job now. I'm taking a motherfucking job now. Listen, ain't no shame in my game. I'm taking a job. What I gotta do is been beating me. And I had enough. This gonna be the last time you put your hands on me. The last time. And scene. I'm showing up for work in a bad wig and I'm gonna wear that motherfucking script the fuck out, bitch, okay? Don't get it twisted. I will climb up the mountain for my marriage, okay? I will drive up the mountain for my marriage, okay? Don't get it twisted. But my critiques are still valid. A lot of y'all don't understand that several things can be true at the same time. I would take a Tyler Perry job. At the same time, Tyler Perry needs better writers, period. But let's go back. So he showed you 10 scripts, right? And he's telling you, oh, it's work ethic. So we have A Fall from Grace that comes out the same year, right? And after that tweet, people went nuts. Like, why don't... That's crazy that you don't have a writer's room. Shout out to Bevy Smith. She did this interview with Tyler Perry about why he doesn't have a writer's room.
Tell me why you don't have a writer's room, and would you ever consider creating a space like that?
I did have a writer's room about 10 years ago. I had the writer's room, and they were turning in scripts that weren't up to par for my audience. I've been working with this audience and cultivating for 25 years, so I know what they want. So I would have to pay them to write the script.
Look at Felicia Rashad.
I got to pay them to rewrite the scripts. And then I would go and rewrite the script, and then they go to WGA and they greet me and say he rewrote the script and pay me again. So it was just such an ugly situation. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to write because I know that my audience knows my voice. And I'm speaking directly to them. So to that point, have nots is just returned to Tuesday to #1 spot.
Congrats.
The Oval and Sisters on BET are both #1 and 2
Yes,
on
you got
Wednesday
folks
night.
watching BET.
Yeah, so I'm doing something right as far as writing it. But as far as other people wanted to have an opportunity, if I'm writing to my audience and I'm telling these kind of soap opera stories, they want to hear my voice. We have other programs in the studio that and shows in development where there will be a showrunner and writers, so those people can have an opportunity, so they don't have to hate on me just doing this. I wasn't doing it because I want to do it. I love doing it, and my audience knows my voice, so I want to keep my ratings up and I want it to work.
So again, you have him on this press run and he's talking about, you know, having, right, he doesn't have writers. And, you know, they would write things to me and it wasn't up to par, so they would have to rewrite it and I would have to pay them again. That's not why you don't have writers. We're going to get into why Tyler Perry doesn't have writers. So I found this Deadline article. It is from October 2nd, 2008. This is Tyler Perry fires 4 writers for union activity. Atlanta opening of Perry's new studio will be picketed. Invited actors and guests being asked not to attend. This is 2008. And before we get into the article, it's just kind of sad as I revisit this because, again, y'all saw all the writer strike, the actor strikes that happened last year, right? Most of those people that were striking last year were here. And mind you, they were being picketed not to attend because of what was happening. So let's read the article. The WGA West just issued this surprising news release. Los Angeles, the Writers Guild of America West is taking on the fight for justice of writers who were fired when they tried to get a union contract with Tyler Perry's production company, House of Pain, LLC. The Guild today filed unfair labor practice charges with the National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, alleging that the House of Pain unlawfully fired 4 writers in retaliation for their union activity. The charge also alleges that the company bargained in bad faith with the Guild, which is seeking to negotiate a contract covering the writers on Perry's cable television series House of Pain and Meet the Browns. The 4 writers, Kelly Griffin, Christopher Moore, Terry Brown Jackson, and Lamont Farrell, as well as supporters from the Writers Guild and the community, will be picketing during Saturday's opening of Perry's new studio, and they're asking invited guests to respect their picket line. Together, these writers have written over 100 episodes of House of Pain since April of this year. They have been involved in a union organizing campaign with the Writers Guild of America West so that their work on that show and the upcoming Meet the Browns will be covered by a Guild contract. Despite the enormous success of House of Pain, Perry has refused to agree to a contract that would give the writers health care, pensions, and residuals. On Tuesday of this week, he fired the writers after warning them some weeks ago that they should be careful about pushing the WGA deal or you could be replaced. We're asking all those who have planned to attend the opening of Tyler Perry's new studio not to cross our picket line, said the writer Christopher Moore. It's very disheartening considering that this is a studio run by African Americans. What Tyler Perry is essentially saying to us is that you're Black and there's not a lot of opportunities for you, so you'll take whatever I give you, whether it's fair or not. Mind you, this is what Black people are told, period, in Hollywood. Black people are told this, period, everywhere. But imagine someone who at this time in 2008, Tyler Perry was already extremely powerful in that space. When House of Pain and I'm forgetting the other show was being mentioned, when those shows were on that network, they were thriving, so much so that Tyler Perry was in talks of buying TBS. This is industry talk. I don't have the actual proof of this, but I'm pretty sure if you do research, you'll find that. He was in talks of buying TBS. Then he went on to go to the OWN network. When Oprah went to the OWN network, he saved Oprah by basically being her main provider of content. This man was extremely powerful and had a lot of wiggle room, more than enough wiggle room to make sure that these writers were unionized and that they had health care, that they had pension, that they had residuals. You know what I mean? As a Black billionaire, now fast forward to 2024 to proudly still talk about how you don't have writers, you're still exercising that. That's how he's able to be a billionaire. It is called wealth hoarding, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't care how many times he tells you, oh, well, God put me in this, when God put you in a position. I don't care how many prosperity preaching sermons you guys listen, whether it's from Tyler Perry, TD Jakes, whoever. That prosperity preaching is not going to turn you into a billionaire, okay? What turns you into a billionaire is malpractices and wealth hoarding, period. Christopher went on to say, I feel like I was slapped in the face like we were used, said the writer. And WGAW member Terry Brown Jackson. We were good enough to create over 100 episodes, but now when it comes to reaping the benefits of the show being syndicated and having other spin-offs from it, he decides to let us go unless we accept a horrible offer. Disrespected, betrayed, saddened. It's hard to describe, said the writer member Lamont Farrell. The actors and a majority of the production crew on the show were working together. Were working under union contracts, and they receive the pay and benefits that you need to survive on in this business. But after all those episodes and success, when it came time for us to get a fair contract, we're told on a conference call, sorry, you're fired. The show's head writer, Kelly Griffin, added, a lot of people who fought for civil rights and social justice never really saw what eventually came out of their work. While I'd like to see something positive come out of this for us, if this fight helps future Black writers get what they deserve, that's a good thing. The writers and their supporters will be picketing at the grand opening of Tyler Perry Studios on Saturday, October 4th, starting 4 p.m. and on Sunday, October 5th, starting 9 a.m. So again, as a Black billionaire, when you think of Black billionaires, period, think of the Diddy's. Diddy is known for not paying people. You know, and I'm not going to name other names. If you do your research on billionaires, period, right? Most of the time, they practice malpractices and wealth hoarding, which is why they're able to have the money that they have. Tyler Perry has no excuse. You're a billionaire. Hiring a writer's room, making sure that they're unionized, will not hurt his pockets. The most it will probably do is maybe take away one vacation per year, you know, to the Ivory Coast, wherever you're going. Like, and that to me is nothing. Like, making sure that your writers are unionized and that they're getting paid fairly. Mind you, too, if you go ahead and you do your research, because as I'm reading this and they're talking about once the show was syndicated, go watch Maxine's Son. It is his documentary on Amazon Prime. It's very, very good. And if you listen to it, actually listen and be aware to what's being said. The way this man was able to get to syndication is absolutely insane. And the fact that he was able to do it so quickly using predominantly Black people on the assembly line, but then you find out that when it came time to paying those Black people, he did not want to do that. It should make you think differently about how these actors and actresses are coming for, oh, this is the most I've ever been paid. Yeah, it's the most you've ever been paid, but at what cost? And also, when I say at what cost too, what other job are you going to get that pays you that much? It's just not going to happen. How many of these actors who are in these Tyler Perry movies get to be in numerous Tyler Perry movies? It's very few. Very few. You get that big check that one time and all right, thank you for coming. Thank you for your services. It's not something that you get pretty often. Let's go back into his writing though, because as I was watching Divorce in the Black, it just gave me AI. Like, it gave me AI. So much so that I went to go research, is he using AI? And I came across this article. The reason why it gave me AI, like if any of you have an experience going through AI, like I I've written 2 scripts like with the assistance of AI. Actually, no. I wrote what was it? Like 2 pages of a script with the assistance of AI. And you really have to you have to go back and redo a lot of things. Like one thing I think AI is good with is you tell it your idea, and it's going to kind of give you the structure for your idea, right? But you really cannot depend on AI to give you the meat. Like there's some things you put in AI, it'll give you the answer, right? But when it comes to script writing, like you really have to go back and put the meat in there. Like you can't really, unless you are a AI specialist that knows specifically how to dictate to AI what you want it to do for you. And still then you're a specialist. So you're giving it the meat. You're giving it the meat, and it's slicing up the meat for you. But you have to be a specialist at that. But anyway, his scripts really give me AI. No depth. Like there's just really no depth. It's a bunch of vibes. Just lines and vibes, right? And I came across this article. So this article is actually from February of this year. Tyler Perry halts $800 million studio expansion after mind-blowing AI demonstration. Let's go ahead and read. So Hollywood heavyweight Tyler Perry has announced that he's putting his Atlanta studios $800 million expansion. $800 million, but you won't hire writers. 800 million, but you won't hire writers. You don't want to pay them what they're worth. You don't want them getting residuals. Like, that's horrible. That's pretty horrible. He's halting his studio's $800 million expansion on hold indefinitely because of mind-blowing developments in artificial technologies, including OpenAI's text-to-video model, Sora. Perry's announcement comes after OpenAI debuted the software on February 15th and before the release of Perry's recent film on Netflix, Mea Culpa. He did have Mea Culpa earlier this year, and that shit was fucking horrible. AI said, we're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models that help people solve problems that require real world interaction. Okay? Perry is going to be using this. Like, this is what he said. Being told that I can do all these things is one thing, but actually seeing the capabilities is mind-blowing. This motherfucker is about to send Medea to space. Okay? Tyler Perry is gonna send Medea to space, bitch, okay? Like, he is not gonna be, like, this is the type of stuff that makes you think in about a couple years, he's not even gonna use actors. He'll use actors for a little bit, but it's gonna get to the point where he's not even gonna use that. He's gonna do the very things, he's doing the very things that actors and writers all had their strikes about last year. Tyler Perry is about to do that. He's already doing it with AI. You're not about to convince me he's not writing his scripts on AI. He is. But he is about to take it to the next level. He's going to literally do what all of these other white billionaires are doing to keep actors, writers, content creators, everybody else poor. Okay? That is the reason why he does not have a writer's room. That is the real reason. Own it, stand in it, let your nuts hang, and be honest about it. And it's just sad because at the end of the day, Tyler Perry is powerful enough to employ all of Black Hollywood and make sure that all of Black Hollywood gets paid very, very well. Very, very well. And he would still be extremely wealthy. But the thing about being a billionaire is wealth hoarding. You want to hoard the wealth. That is the key to being a billionaire. It's the main key. Hoarding the wealth and saying things like, oh, you know, well, I got it from the mud. I got this. We're all out here actually in the mud. And the very disenfranchised people who got you up there, you have the power to employ them, and you refuse. You see, the problem with a lot of black billionaires, black people period, is that they go from complaining about racism, complaining about this is what the white people do to us when we're working for them and we're working, and this is how they keep us out of wealth, and this is how they keep us from being able to, you know, provide for our families and being paid well. They go from doing that to doing the very thing that the white folks do to us. That's what you're doing, Tyler Perry. Do you know what that gives, Tyler Perry? Highbrow Negro. You're the very Negro that you're calling us. You are the very Negro. C'est nous-mêmes wap with highbrow Negro. But you don't want to do the highbrow Negro shit. Again, that is why he doesn't have writers. That is why he doesn't have a writer's room. That is why he will not have it. Because he does not want to hire black writers, black directors. He does not want to hire these people so that these people can also be in the wealth game. Why? Why? I would love to see an interviewer ask him that real question and bring up that lawsuit, bring up what happened in that writer's room and why you haven't had a writer's room in what? 16 years. Let's have that real conversation, Mr. Tyler Perry. Again, I will drive up the mountain for my marriage. Okay? Baby, if Tyler Perry was to come, if Tyler Perry was to come calling me, baby, I would get the mad black women tears going. Okay? And I would come back on YouTube and have a kiki with y'all about it. Because I have bills. Let's just be honest. See, I'm gonna be honest. I have bills. But also, I'm not going to shut my mouth. I'm the type of person, I'm gonna give you a critique. I'm gonna still work with you, but I'm gonna give you a critique. This is my critique. And it's a valid critique. How do you plan on actually addressing the critique? Anyway, drop that in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on Tyler Perry and why he ain't got no writer's room during Black Women's. We about to have the first Black Women's, Indian, Jamaican, Black Women's President, Black Women's Month. I'll see y'all next time.
I'll touch that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times again. I testify for you. By money to I'll do all of them around. Just get to do. I'm not. Long as you out here looking for me, I got it. Mais pas vin jouer nan figure. Got do you do. C'est où seul moi gagne sous kem kounya. Tell the truth, I look better under you.